So guys, hey guys, it's me, 80s444. So welcome back to the channel, guys. Today, guys, we're doing a Europa knockout round playoff prediction. So we predicted predicting the 8 matches here. Now, obviously, there will be one match in particular which I'm not be discussing in this video simply because I want to do that more in-depth video, which is Barca versus Napoli. So next week on my channel, I'll do more separate in-depth preview for that. The rest of my other matches that we'll be predicting right now, guys, and I hope you guys do enjoy. And remember, guys, there will be a league in description below where you guys can do your predictions of individual matches. And remember, guys, comment down below your predictions as well. Okay, so let's start with the very first match, which is Dortmund versus Rangers. So Dortmund versus Rangers, guys. Guys, obviously Dortmund are the heavy favorites here. They got some great players. Obviously, Haaland comes to mind, Reina comes to mind, Bellingham as well. And for Rangers in particular, they do have some good players. Sakala comes to mind. Obviously, you have Hagi as well, Ryan Kent as well. It's a decent team. Guys, I think it's very obvious which team I'm picking. I'm picking Dortmund. Even though I'm not really been impressed with them defensively, and I think defensively they are very vulnerable at the back, I still would take them just because they're attacking power, and obviously Haaland in particular just is a huge difference maker to make. Then we got Zenit versus Real Betis. Now it's a really interesting one, guys. Zenit versus Real Betis. For me, guys, I just think that for me, this Zenit team has been incredible. You have Claudinho comes to mind, Malcolm comes to mind, Artem Juba as well. It's a good team. And they're very difficult to beat at Russia, as we saw what Chelsea did earlier this season. And Real Betis have been flying high in La Liga. Iglesias has done really well. Fekir has done amazing. Bravo. Obviously, you also have Diego Lainez as well. Guadrado. It's a very good team for Betis. Now, the problem for me with this one is that I'm not really sure how Betis is going to approach the Europa League. That's like my difficult thing in predicting here, and because I think that's going to make a huge difference. Because I'm telling you this right now, guys, I'm going to guess here. I think Betis for me will prioritize La Liga over the Europa League simply because in La Liga I think they have a golden opportunity to get top four this season ahead of the likes of either Barca or Atletico Madrid or even maybe both. Whereas in the Europa League, they have to go through so many games to actually qualify for the Champions League. And I just don't think they have enough quality to win the Champions League. And I just think that for me, since they're already doing so well in the league, I think they'll go more in the league. So let me just say this right now, guys. If they manage to make it round of 16, then I think it's going to be very difficult for them to get top four. But if they, let's say, give up on the Europa League, then I think they could honestly make top four this season. So it's going to be very difficult, guys. I am going to go for a shock in this one, though. I think Zenit, for me, will surprise people. And I say that because, like I said, with Betis not really being fully concentrated on the Europa League, I feel like they'll focus more on the league. At least that's what I think they should. I think Zenit will take advantage of that. And also, remember, guys, the first leg's at home for them, which is very difficult for them. And the Zenit can manage to make a big win. The second leg might even be meaningless to begin with. So, yeah. Obviously, we also have Barca versus Napoli, which you guys know I'm going to do a video about next week. And then we got Sheriff versus Braga, guys. Sheriff has been incredible, guys, this season. Cristiano comes to mind. Then Adama Traore as well. It's a very good team. It's a good team, guys. Sheriff has been defensively solid, guys. That's one of the things that is very interesting with Sheriff. That defensively, they were one of the best teams, most impressive teams in the Champions League. And they're very good on free kicks. Now, for Braga in particular, while I am decent and content with the Braga team for me is just not really the same. You know, obviously with Trincao leaving, I think it was a big hole to leave in. And for me, the players are just not really that amazing. You got Roger Fernandez, Iguana Pizzato, Ricardo Huerta, Lucas Pizan, Abel Ruiz, Barcelona player on loan right there. So, yeah, guys, I think for me this one, guys, I'm going to go with Sheriff for this one. I think Sheriff for me have been really incredible, and I think for me they'll continue their European dream, and yeah. And so, yeah, very, very good on their part. Moving on over to Leipzig versus Sociedad. Probably one of the matches to look forward to, one of the high-scoring matches potentially in the Europa League knockout round playoffs. And for me, it's a really good interesting one. Leipzig in particular, I think they've definitely improved under Tetsuko, bringing in new players, Gabriel and the Elex Mariba. And I think this Leipzig team is looking better defensively under Tetsuko than under Desi Marsh. And I feel Leipzig have a very good chance to win the Europa League. I think this is a competition that they could really honestly win. And given the fact that they're basically out of the Bundesliga, they can't win the Bundesliga anymore, and they're still technically in the DFB Pokal, I still think, though, they should focus on the Europa League. I think the Europa League is their best bet for a trophy this season. And although they're not in a great position in the league, they still have to battle for top four and everything like that. it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. Obviously, like I said, you got Nkunku that comes to mind, Danny Olmo, Andre Silva, Szoboszlai, Haidara, Forsberg, Angelino, Gabriel, and it's going to be very interesting. My issue with Leipzig in particular, though, is that it's really the defense. The defense in particular, Leipzig is really my biggest issue, and I kind of say the same for Sociedad too in a way. And that Sociedad for me, their defense has not been that great. You got Isaac that comes to mind, one of their best players. Then David Silva, then obviously Januzaj, Oyarzabal, Sorloth, Matthew Ryan, Rafinha. It's just the defense in particular, guys. I mean, look at this game in particular, guys. They conceded 4 goals against Betis. I know it's against Betis. I know I've told you guys Betis has been amazing, but still, they haven't been that great defensively speaking. They conceded 2 against Leganes, conceded 3 at home to Villarreal. I just think that for me, guys, this Sociedad team has been super, super inconsistent, and which is why I believe that at the very best, I see Leipzig triumphing over this one, guys. I think Leipzig will make it through to the next round. And then we finally move on to Porto versus Latio. Very interesting one here. Obviously, Porto, obviously no Luis Diaz for them, but they still got some great players. Obviously, got Taremi that comes to mind. Obviously, you also have Marcina as well, very good goalkeeper as well. Pepe as well. And it's still a great team, man. It's still a great team. Then you got obviously Sansu as well, very good player for Nigeria. And it's a very good team, guys. It's a very good team in particular. And I just say that for me, guys, this Porto team, they're looking in a great position when the league. You guys can see how clear they are in the league. I think they're like 6 points clear, I want to say. So it's really in a great position for them. As for Lazio, guys, they do have some key players. Obviously, Immobile comes to mind. Pedro as well. Milinkovic-Savic, Luis Felipe, Luis Alberto. It's a very tough match. I think it's a very well-balanced match, and I could see this going either way. But I'm going to go with Porto to prevail here on this one just because I feel like for me, Porto, I think I have more faith that Porto will show up. Look what they did to the last season in the Champions League, managing to upset Juventus. I think if they're capable of doing that, then I think they could also do the same here as well. So I am going to go with Porto to prevail on this one, guys. And yeah, so to move on to the round of 16. Although it could go Lazio as well. I wouldn't be surprised. It's going to be very close, guys. I think Atalanta versus Olympiacos, guys. Atalanta haven't really been that great this season. They've been kind of struggling this season, been very much misfiring and getting inconsistent results. You guys can see that they had 2 back-to-back 0-0 draws, and they lost at home to Cagliari, which is kind of sad for their part. And then obviously, guys, Zapata comes to mind. Then obviously, Luis Muriel. Obviously, also Ilicic as well, Malinowski, Musso as well, Miranchuk as well, Kulp Myers as well, Mahel as well. And it's a very good team. Atalanta is a very attack-minded team, and it's going to be interesting to see how they face up against Olympiacos, which is a very defensively good team. This team is very good defensively, and they have some quality players. Obviously, one of the best players that comes to mind is Yusuf Al Arabi. He's one player to look out for, guys. He always seems to turn up for them in the Europa League. But also keep an eye on Papu Abu Sise as well. Pretty good player indeed. And then obviously got Matthew Valbena and Francisco Suarez. Like I said, guys, I just think that for me, guys, this Olympiacos team is defensively tough to break down, and I can see Atalanta really struggling. But over the 2 legs, guys, I am going to go with Atalanta to prevail on this one just because I think their attack is insane. And I just feel like for me, Olympiacos' defense, I just can't. It's just going to be difficult for them to defend for like 180 minutes. I'd see a lot of Atalanta really putting a lot of pressure. I could see Atalanta having most possession, everything like that, and Olympiacos just really struggling in the game. So yeah, I'm going to go with Atalanta and move on to the next stage. We got Sevilla versus Dynamo Zagreb. It's going to be really interesting to see how Sevilla do in this one. Obviously, Sevilla are one of the Europa League specialties, and it's interesting because Sevilla coming into this with really poor form, guys. 3 draws consecutively, which is really sad for their part. And this is going to be interesting to see how they do. Obviously, they got Martial, Rakitic, Koundé. Then obviously they got Tecasito. Then obviously they also have Eric Lamela, Papu Gomez as well, and Ocampos as well. It's a good team, man. It's a really good team. And let's see how Sevilla will take this competition. And I would assume they'll take the competition very seriously because how much they love the Europa League. As for Dynamo Zagreb, they do have some decent players. Obviously, Orsen's the one player to look out for. Not Orsen, sorry. Orsic as well. Orsic is the one I was talking about. My bad. Petkovic as well, one player to look out for. And obviously, you also have Bulat as well. So, yeah, I guys, I'm going to say this right now. I think Dynamo Zagreb will not beat Sevilla. I think Sevilla is going to beat Zagreb. I think for me, Sevilla is going to be... They have to win the first leg because it's going to be very difficult to play away at Croatia. And so, if Sevilla wins the first leg, then I can see them going through because I don't think they'll I think they'll be able to at least get a draw in Croatia. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Sevilla to prevail through. I just think for Dynamo Zagreb they're faced with a too hard of a task. So let me go ahead and reiterate my predictions real quick. So I have Dortmund to make it through. I have Zenit to make it through. I have Sheriff to make it through. I have Leipzig to make it through. I have Porto to make it through. Atalanta to make it through, and Sevilla to make it through. So wow, guys, could you believe it? I've picked almost all the Champions League teams. So we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. So that's pretty much my predictions for today, guys. Hope you guys did enjoy that. Remember, guys, to comment down below your predictions. Like this video as well. Helps the channel grow. Subscribe if you're new around here. And remember, guys, check out my other posts in the description below. And I'll see you guys later. Peace out.